Ever tried to turn a smart device idea into a real prototype and then everything just starts fighting each other? You get the design looking good and suddenly the electronics don't fit or the performance tanks. Why do so many promising builds fall apart right when it feels like you're almost there? Most of the time, it's not a bad idea. It's integration. It's the gap between the electronics, the enclosure, and how the whole thing actually has to work together. Because in the real world, you're packing sensors, a PCB, a battery, antennas, connectors, and wiring into one enclosure. And that enclosure still has to look good, feel good in the hand, survive drops, and pass approvals. A common mistake I see is people saying, let's finalize the shell first, and we'll squeeze the hardware in later. But once you lock the enclosure, you've basically boxed yourself in on sensors, power, processing, and connectivity. That's when the headaches start. The better move is to define your hardware architecture first, then let the enclosure design follow that, not the other way around. And don't treat the PCB and the enclosure like two separate projects. Design them in parallel, because they constantly constrain each other. Solve that puzzle at the same time, and you'll save a lot of rework. Thermals, antenna placement, battery fit, connector access, cable routing. If you don't plan those early, you find the problems after you've already spent real money on tooling and prototypes. You also have to design for how the device will be built, not just how it looks in a render. How does it assemble? How do parts locate? How do you test it? How do you keep yields up in production? Miss that, and you end up with expensive assembly fixes and ugly surprises later. And then there's regulatory, FCC, CE, battery safety, all of that. If you wait until the final phase to think about compliance, you're already late. You want to design with those requirements in mind from day one, or you risk painful redesigns. That's where Rabbit can help. Our team averages close to 3 decades of experience, and we've delivered over 2,000 products. We coordinate industrial design, mechanical engineering, PCB layout, and manufacturing review together. So the hardware integration happens under one roof, instead of you trying to manage a bunch of disconnected vendors. If I were building this, I wouldn't gamble months of work and a pile of cash on a prototype that's likely to fail integration or certification. Get the disciplines working together from the start. If you want to see how we approach it, click the link below to learn more. And if this was helpful, subscribe, like, and ring the bell.